Okay. This is a non-spoiler review for Caught Stealing. I'm Jaby Koay, joined by Achara Kurt.
Hello.
I'm laughing a little bit because we just tried recording a non-spoiler review, and Achara was getting mad, and so we're starting over.
Thanks for throwing me under the bus.
I'm not throwing you under the bus. I'm throwing myself under the bus. And so Achara and I are coming from two different places. I read the books a while ago, all of them, and Achara tried reading the books and then stopped. And I'm not
Books, one.
yeah.
I tried reading Caught Stealing.
Yes.
And I was like, this is not my vibe.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Put
Yes.
it away.
But she likes the movie way more than whatever experience she had with the book.
Yes.
Yeah, so we liked the movie. We thought it was fun. It was cool. You should watch it. There, I did the rule. You said say it early.
I
Okay.
said, because this man wanted to talk about like the book a whole bunch. And I'm like, people are here to know whether or not we think this movie is worthwhile. Yes, it's worthwhile. It's a Darren Aronofsky movie. It's starring Austin Butler, plus a whole bunch of other cool actors. And it's a very different movie coming from Aronofsky.
Yes,
you
it
know,
is.
like we're used to kind of weirder, edgier movies that make us feel uncomfortable
Yeah.
and just like, ugh, what the hell? This one probably felt like the most commercial Darren Aronofsky movie that I've ever seen.
Right. I wouldn't call the movie pedestrian, but compared to other Aronofsky work, this one is more pedestrian,
Yes,
right?
sure.
But this is still a better movie than you'll get from most filmmakers, I feel like. I feel like I was very happy just to see Aronofsky doing something different. Mm-hmm. This is going to be the one time I mention the book, okay?
Don't even. You're going to
be the one time. No, this will be the one time.
Times.
The one time, okay?
Okay.
Because I love the books. In the books, you get so much detail about this character, which a book affords you, obviously,
Exactly,
right?
yeah.
But there's like so much narration from his perspective, and that's what I find so compelling about that character. In the movie, they take that out, and you just have his expressions. And so it's just a different experience.
It's a different medium.
Yeah, he's also a more confident character in the movie than he is in the book. And so I can see why Aronofsky was drawn to the source material, but he had Charlie Huston, who I love. I love his material, his books in general. He had Charlie Huston write the screenplay, and it felt more akin to Snatch than the book did, right? And so that's why this film kind of feels like Snatch light. And you know,
Heavy on the light.
there's pros and cons. Heavy on the light. Yeah, there's pros and cons to that because the movie kind of. You go ahead. You mentioned. Let's talk about the Guy Ritchie thing. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, so who was it who's reviewed?
Jeremy Johns.
Yeah, so Jeremy Johns mentioned that it seemed like Snatch,
Yeah,
right?
but light.
But light. And then when you said that to me and I watched the film, I was like, oh, I can totally see that. I would actually be quite interested in an alternate universe to see the Guy Ritchie directed version of this movie, because while I enjoyed the film, and for me, what I found most interesting were like the characters. I enjoyed the characters that were being presented to me. I kind of felt like this movie is an action film that is being shot like it's a drama. And so I kind of wished that it was like just more punchy, like just a little bit more pizzazz to it. And maybe that's not Darren Aronofsky's style,
right?
You know, and so it's different.
When you say drama, you probably mean like indie drama, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can see that. Yeah, because I mean, you look, if you watch Snatch, there's a lot of simple camera work in there. Very smart, very well done camera work, but it's all simple setups.
Right, but like what happened to my voice? It's also in the editing, I think. There's like lots of cool little bits where it's like,
yeah,
and it's like, oh yeah, exciting.
Yeah,
I'm a big fan of Snatch.
Well, yeah, I mean, the movie definitely had a tonal identity crisis. You know, it wasn't sure what movie it wanted to be sometimes.
Right.
And you know, knowing Aronofsky, I was like, oh, it could go really dark, and it didn't. It's like, there are things that are dark in the movie, but it doesn't get anywhere near as bad as one would expect. One of the last things we talked about in the non-spoiler review that will never see the light of day is there's the question that kind of comes up now: should you wait for streaming, or should you watch it in theaters? And it felt like a streaming movie I was watching in a theater. I personally ask that you watch it in theaters because I love Aronofsky and I love Charlie Huston, and I want to see them continue to get work in Hollywood, and so I support them anyway. Mm-hmm. But like, if I didn't have that affinity for those two people, I don't know that I would recommend this for the theater experience. Also, every other time I go to the theaters, there is a person or persons that make me never want to go back to the theater. Ever, ever, ever. I have a big enough TV at home. I got a good enough sound system. Why deal with that? But
people, start behaving better in the movie theaters. We need your help to keep the industry alive, okay?
Yeah. One interesting thing about this version of the character in the movie is that Austin Butler, we'll go into his acting and whatnot in a second, he feels borderline vanilla, and the rest of the cast is like a rainbow of characters.
Yeah.
And so what that affords you is the opportunity to sort of project yourself onto the character, kind of like Neo in The Matrix or any Ryan Gosling movie. Like, you can sort of project yourself onto this person and experience what he is experiencing in that story. And I love the cast of people that they have in this. They're so wildly kooky and quirky.
Yeah.
And that's what gives you that sort of early Guy Ritchie appeal of Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels or Snatch, because there's this wide variety of people that are just like weird. And like none of them feel like the same dude at all.
No.
And so in that respect, it's very well done. Very cool world to jump into. And it does leave me wanting to see them continue the other two stories that are available to adapt for this franchise or whatever. I hope Aronofsky does it. This is... I was just super happy to see him do something different, because I was very angry at The Whale. I know most people who watch that enjoy it. The movie pissed me off because I already got that story back to back with Black Swan and The Wrestler, and I love those two films. They're two of my favorite films of all time. I didn't need it the third time with The Whale. And so the ending especially upset me. Here, it's as... like, this is as different to Aronofsky's work as Noah is different to Aronofsky's work.
Sure.
You know? And so I enjoy it in that regard. Is it a movie I will remember and hold on to? I don't think so. I don't think it's going to be something that stays with me. Some of the characters will. The guy with the birthmark on his face, the two Hasidic characters, Hasidic Jews.
Yeah.
I will remember them. And we'll, you know...
and his neighbor, Matt Smith.
And Matt Smith, yes.
Yeah.
Those four characters, they will stay with me. Now, about the acting. So one of the trippy things for me with Austin Butler that I just got to get over is that, like, I have this weird experience every time I watch him in a movie that is not Dune Part 2, where I'm like, I knew his mom and sister. I knew them very well because they lived in my building. This is so crazy. And I have to, like, get that out of my head for the first few minutes every time I watch him. It's a weird thing. Anyway, once I was past that, I was watching him in the film and going, it feels like he's doing a performance. That semi-negative thought went away over the course of the film, either because he got better or because I just got used to him. One or the other.
Yeah, for me, going into it, I was already apprehensive about the casting of Austin Butler as Hank. While I didn't read the whole book, I remember how I felt about the character and what I had perhaps projected onto the character, but I had this sense that he just seemed more like haggard, more broken down, just like, maybe more tired. And so in my mind, because of that, I think I thought that he should have been older. Then going back to the source material, like you've done recently, it's like, okay, Austin Butler is the right age, but I think because he's such a like fresh looking, young looking, beautiful man, is just like hard for me going into it because I had an idea of the character. But then once I started watching him and like he was doing his thing, I actually really liked him as the character, and it made me like the character of Hank more because he was bringing this like lovely vulnerability to the character, which allowed me to connect with him more.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. In my mind, I would have... He's supposed to be in his late 20s or early 30s, but Austin Butler just reads as 20.
Yeah.
Like, he just reads as a very young guy. Even with the dirt on his face, he just looks super young.
Yeah.
And it's when I was watching him in the first 20 minutes of the movie, I think one of the things that distracted me was he just felt so much more confident against the character I remember from the story, from the book. And he just feels like he has it pretty much together.
And maybe that's also because in the book, you have the advantage of hearing the internal monologue, right? We don't have that. You can appear confident when you're doing your job.
Yeah.
Like, because he works at a bar, right? You can appear confident because you're doing your thing and you know exactly how to behave, but we're not hearing your internal monologue. We don't know. You might be falling apart inside.
Yeah, who knows?
Yeah.
In one of the things from Snatch that they didn't do here was voiceover.
Right.
At all. So at the end of the film, I was like, it might have been interesting. I don't know why my mind went to Fight Club when I saw the film. Because I was like, Edward Norton has a lot of voiceover throughout the movie, which is inherited from the book. It's like he has so many thoughts that are interesting to read, and the movie it expands on, or it doesn't expand on it, but it just makes it better. It's one of the few instances that the movie's better than the book. But one of the things that helps is just voiceover, because I know that according to the movie adaptation, voiceover is the last tool you should ever use. But in Fight Club and in Snatch, it's used to great effect, and it would have helped here. But they wanted to create a different experience, which is fine, where it's just you project onto the character what's happening. You don't hear what he's thinking, how he sees the world.
Sure.
And it's fine. There was some cool momentum moments in the movie because the character's backstory is he used to play baseball, and they use that to the advantage of the story, where he's running from people sometimes, and the way you would move when you're, running around the diamond or whatever.
Yeah.
They use that here, and I'm like, oh, that's actually pretty cool. As a that's how he's able to deal with some of the circumstances that he's in. Is his old experience, right? Mm-hmm. And so I thought that was pretty cool. There was some neat action in the film. Overall, I think that the film felt just smaller than it should have. It didn't feel like it had as momentum on the whole as it should have. It was an hour and 40 minutes, but it felt like 2 hours and 10. And it didn't feel like it moved as quick as it should. But when it moves, it moves.
Right.
And so I appreciate the film. I don't know how many more times I would watch it. I probably would watch it at least one more time, just because I want to soak in the Aronofsky experience of this one more time.
Okay.
But I didn't love it compared to... well, especially compared to the book. The book is way better in my opinion, but who doesn't ever say that, except for Fight Club? And then compared to other Aronofsky work. I just watched Black Swan, and that movie's fucking amazing. And so you compare it to this, and you're like, oh, okay, this is just like a caper movie.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's fine.
But I still like it. And,
yeah.
and I'm just excited to see what Aronofsky does from here, either in his career or with this other stories remaining.
The real question is, would you buy this on 4K Blu-ray?
No.
Okay,
no.
There you go.
No, I can tell you that easily. I'd watch it again on streaming. But if I am not ever able to own it on 4K Blu-ray, like the other Aronofsky films, I'd be okay.
Okay.
That's the honest truth. I own Mother. So I know so many people hate that movie. I own Wrestler, Black Swan, I own Mother, what else is there? Noah.
Did you do The Fountain?
I own The Fountain.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have so many of other Aronofsky movies. This is one where I'm like, it's okay. I'm not going to hold on to that one. But, great job. Just a cool collaboration anyway.
Yeah, it's really different. And, casting wise, the actors involved all did a fantastic job.
Yes.
Austin Butler, I enjoyed, I already said. And the other
Zoë
standouts
Kravitz.
for us, we enjoyed Zoe Kravitz's performance, but especially enjoyed Matt Smith and
Vincent D'Onofrio,
Leif Schreiber. Yeah, and Regina King, of course.
Regina King.
Yeah,
this is a different role for her. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a cool time at the theater if you're just like, oh, I want to go watch something. Go watch Caught Stealing.
It's definitely a very capable cast. And so, yeah, it's recommended. You guys, thanks so much for hanging. Hopefully you enjoyed that. I'm Jaby Koay. This is
Achara Kirk.
Peace out.